There's gonna be carnage.
Venom Let There Be Carnage. Is Spider-Man gonna be in it? If so, which Spider-Man? Is Venom MCU canon yet? Will Woody Harrelson still have that really terrible wig? What's up guys, Chris Killian here with pretty much every speculative detail we could scrounge up to guess answer all your questions for Venom Let There Be Carnage. This is a one-stop video until we learn anything else. Despite getting critically slammed, Venom did what no one really thought he was going to be able to do without Spidey in 2018, become a massive hit, grossing more than $850 million worldwide, which is like only $30 million short of what the wall crawler himself earned in Spider-Man Homecoming. Who knew villains without their heroes were so bankable? When you make cash like that, it's only a matter of time before the sequel rumors get drummed up. By January 2019, it was announced that a sequel was happening with Tom Hardy, Woody Harrelson, and Kelly Marcel, one of the original writers, returning. However, original director Ruben Fleischer would not be returning, instead replaced by Andy Serkis, who you might know better as Gollum, King Kong, Caesar, Supreme Leader Snoke, Ulysses Claw, and soon Batman's butler. Busy guy, that Andy.
I can kill two birds with one stone.
Originally, Venom 2 was scheduled to be released in the UK and US on October 2nd, 2020, with filming reportedly ending earlier this year. However, like nearly everything in the film industry, once Sony announced Morbius was being pushed back to March 2021, they soon pushed Venom 2 to June 25th, 2021. Why would Venom 2 with an October release date need to be pushed back if filming had already been completed and by October we would likely be clear of the pandemic timing? More on that later.
I don't know how.
Once Sony announced the release date change, Tom Hardy almost immediately revealed that the title of the sequel would be Venom Let There Be Carnage, and there was quite a bit of fan outrage. Honestly, maybe more outrage than necessary, but what else is new?
Who said that?
Without knowing anything about the script, a lot of fans believe the rightful title of the movie should be Venom Maximum Carnage, based off of the beloved comic storyline and 16-bit video game from the 90s. However, let's break this down. I would argue that Venom without Spider-Man was already a rushed endeavor, but somehow it paid off. Doing it again and rushing the Maximum Carnage storyline would be insanity. Can you think of any other classic comic storylines that have been rushed and then adapted not so well? I rest my case. At least by not calling it Maximum Carnage, that storyline can still be adapted down the road because that storyline features a ton of characters besides Venom and Carnage, namely Spider-Man himself front and center, but also Captain America, Black Cat, Iron Fist, Cloak and Dagger, Morbius, just to name a few. Now, we probably wouldn't get all of those heroes for a film adaptation, but we need more than Venom and Carnage to adapt Maximum Carnage.
Oh yeah, we got more friends! Awesome!
For all we know, plans are in place to adapt Maximum Carnage, and wouldn't you prefer for that to be a third movie down the line once Spidey's been properly introduced? Rhetorical question, of course you would.
You have been a serious pain in the ass for me, Eddie.
Well, you know, I aim to please.
Which brings me to my next point. The billion-dollar question, will Spider-Man be appearing in Venom 2? If I were a betting man,
I'll just take these, bring them over here.
100%. But which Spider-Man? Lots of people have been hoping we might see a return of Tobey Maguire, and a few might have even been hoping for Andrew Garfield, but I wouldn't hold my breath. Considering that Tom Hardy has now posted and deleted fan art of MCU Spider-Man being eaten by Venom twice, all signs point to Tom Holland being the web slinger that shows up. You think Tom Hardy did that on accident? That he posted it and 5 seconds later the studio made him take it down? Negative. This is definitely on purpose.
How do you even know about that?
However, I wouldn't put all my faith in Tom Hardy's Instagram trolling as much as I point to the very public negotiations that took place last year between Disney and Sony over the rights to use Spider-Man. Had a deal not been made, it was looking like Sony was ready to pluck Tom Holland right out of the MCU, no problemo, and debut him as Spidey in Venom 2 just as a big middle finger to Disney. Boom. Now that they've worked out a deal, I would definitely expect Spidey or other MCU Spidey villains to pop up in Sony's spin-offs.
Thank you guys for having me.
Which brings me all the way back around to Morbius. We all know about that wonderful stinger at the end of the Morbius trailer with Michael Keaton's Vulture appearing.
What's up, Doc?
This really all but confirms that Sony and the MCU have joined forces, but based on what we've seen, it really only proves Morbius is in the MCU, and we're gonna need some sort of extra connective tissue to tie Venom to Morbius or Venom to the MCU. So what's the point? There's clearly something going down in Morbius which is going to lead into the events of Venom There Be Carnage. Otherwise, it would have made no difference right now for Venom 2 to keep its original release date in October. But for whatever reason, Sony clearly needs to release Morbius first. My guess is that this is all leading to an Avengers-style crossover film likely to be tied to the Sinister Six or possibly adapting the Maximum Carnage storyline like I mentioned earlier. Now let's talk about that infamous Cletus Cassidy wig. That hair is best left on Little Orphan Annie because it did not look right on Woody Harrelson whatsoever.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
And the sun has come out thanks to some leaked set photos I can or can't show here. I'll let my editor decide.
Not today.
Either way, we've got confirmation that Woody's wig is quite a bit tamer. Now will Venom Let There Be Carnage feature the same level of atrocious jokes that land
Like a turd in the wind.
Probably, but even though I hated that turd joke in the movie, it's been a golden clip for videos like this. But honestly, other than that one line, I thought Tom Hardy's performance as Eddie Brock arguing back and forth with the symbiote was spot on and often hilarious. So if we're gonna get more of that, I say bring it on.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Why would you do that?
Because it is a very sensible thing to do.
Do you want to see Tom Holland play Spider-Man in Venom Let There Be Carnage? Of course you do. Are you hoping this all leads into some sort of giant Spidey crossover film? Share your thoughts in the comment section or send them my way on Twitter at Chris Killian or on Instagram at CK Comedy. For more of the best geek news, head over to Comicbook.com.